Hello, it's Sonia here with the Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. I usually do videos about crocheting, sometimes knitting, tips and tricks. So if you're interested in those types of things, then keep watching. Today's video is an update video, and the beginning of each month I like to update on this series that I have been doing. It's called Bust My Stash 2020. And each month I introduce a bin of yarn and I try to see what I can make out of that bin of yarn. So I've been doing it since January of 2020 because I have so much yarn that I'm trying to work through. And as I always say, that I feel like I don't make any progress. I mean, I have made some things, I'm working on some things, but I have so much. So it's going to take a while to get through the enormous amounts of yarn that I have. You know, a terrible problem to have. It could be worse. I will introduce you to the October bin, which I can't believe we're in October. I feel like this year has been going really fast, but also going really slow at the same time. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. You know, this whole COVID thing has just been crazy. Yeah, we're already in October, and I will update you on the September bin, and you can see if it looks any different. Probably doesn't look a whole lot different. And I'll also show you some projects that I have finished or that I'm working on right now. So I'm going to show you some projects. We will start with the ones that I'm working on right now, and I have two knitting ones that I'll show you first. Okay, so this one is a knitting project, and I showed you a similar project last month. It's going to be an ear warmer, and so I have this yarn. It's like this weird, I say it's springy, like it feels, kind of reminds me of like a slinky in a way, in a weird way. I don't know why I think of that. But I decided to combine them together to to make this ear wrap. So I don't know if it's the best yarn to highlight the cable. Usually I find when you're making cables either in crocheting or knitting, you know, to not have such a busy yarn, and this does have a little bit of like a thread going through it. So I usually find like a solid color looks a little bit better, but I think it looks okay. And yeah, I just have some braided cables on the sides, and I will have a video and a pattern for this. This will be my very first knitted video. I do have a few knitted patterns. I don't knit that much. I like knitting, but it just doesn't come as easily to me as crocheting. Crocheting, I feel like I'm a whole lot more skilled at crocheting than knitting, but I'm still plugging away with my knitting. You know, I'm determined to, you know, get better at it. So yeah, this will be an ear warmer. We're probably about halfway done on this guy, so we're plugging away. We're getting there. Okay, and then I'll show you my next knitting project. So I have showed you this before. This is a scarf that I've been working on. It's like a pizza slice, I call it. So it's taken a while to get this thing done, and I'm using some ice yarn, which to me this particular ice yarn is a decate weight yarn, so a little bit of a lighter weight. And when I think it's long enough, then I'm going to add some buttonholes on the side here, and then what you'll do is you'll just thread this skinnier end through the buttonholes and wear it around your neck. I made a crocheted version a while ago. Like I said, I can crochet so much faster than knitting. This is it's basically just stockinette and then some garter stitch on the edges. And it's just taken me a while, but we're gonna plug away. I mean, we're now heading in October. It's gonna get colder. So hopefully, you know, it'll be ready soon by the time winter hits. And I'll just show you the yarn situation. This is what happened. Yeah. I don't know if this happens to you. Like when I started using this yarn, it was pulling out of the skein like really nicely. And then all of a sudden it just started to like come apart and become, you know, this complete yarn barf disaster nightmare situation. But you know, we're gonna work through it. We'll get through it. It's not the first time. Yeah, this is ice yarn. It's called Magic Light. And to me, yeah, it's definitely like a decate weight yarn. If you've ever used Stylecraft DK weight yarn, it's basically like the same weight as that. And I actually really love that yarn. I think it's a UK brand, and it's beautiful decate weight yarn. So if you ever have an opportunity to use Stylecraft, highly recommend. Alright, so I will show you another project that I just started working on. So this one is a sweater that I've been wanting to make for a while. I've had this idea. It's part of my Springfield collection. I came up with this stitch using extended single crochet. I love extended single crochet. It's one of my favorite stitches. I don't feel like it gets a lot of love. A lot of people don't like extended single crochet, but I find it to be a very versatile stitch. I love it far more than regular single crochet. Regular single crochet, one of my least favorite stitches, but you know, you need to know how to do it, and you do use it a lot. But extended single crochet I just love, and so I came up with this stitch pattern using extended single crochet, and it's my Springfield collection. I have a hat pattern, I have a cowl pattern with it, I have mittens, and I have mitts, fingerless gloves. And I thought a sweater would be really pretty also, so I just started it. And I'm going to try to have multiple sizes, which I've never done a sweater with multiple sizes. I've made baby ones, I've made some for myself, but sizing, like grading for sizing to me is hard. So we're gonna give it a go. I will get this tested, so this probably won't be out for quite a while. I might have it in this collection that I did this last year in December. I did 12 days of hats. So I thought I would do that again. So 12 days leading up to Christmas, probably Christmas Eve would be the final, would be day 12. I had a hat pattern each day, and I had a written pattern and I had a video. And for one day I would have most of the hat patterns. Some of them are free, some of them aren't free. Some are better than others. I was really scrambling towards the end with that whole series, but I'm trying to plan ahead a little bit better with this series. So this year, instead of 12 days of hats, I thought I would do 12 days of warmth. I'm always cold. I hate being cold, and I love warm things. So I'm thinking like hats, maybe a sweater, like ear warmers, scarves, maybe a blanket, a cowl, anything, fingerless gloves or mittens, anything in the warm category would be included in that. So I'm still kind of in the beginning stages of, what I actually want to make. And so this might make the cut. I don't know. This might take a lot longer depending on how the testing goes and all that. And I'm going to try to get all those patterns tested beforehand. I know some of the ones in the 12 days of hats, like I came up with the idea in actually right after Thanksgiving. So it was a rush job, to be honest, with the 12 days of hats, but I did get a really great positive response, and I really appreciate everybody's positive comments with that. And I know some of the patterns aren't the best. That's why some of them are free, because I made them so quickly, and I eventually want to go back and kind of redo them a little bit just to make sure they're completely correct and all that, but I haven't had a chance to go back and correct them yet. And I figure, well, you have the video, I start from, the beginning. So I apologize if you have made some of those hats and you have the written pattern and they're not quite lining up there. So yeah, that was a complete rush. And then the last one was just a nightmare to make. I messed up on the video. I deleted some footage. Like, it was everything that could go wrong went wrong with that particular pattern. But that one I get a lot of love on, so you just never know. But yeah, anyway, so 12 days of warmth will be coming up, and I will show you another pattern that I'm working on. Alright, so here is a scarf pattern that I am working on, and I don't think I'm going to have a video for this guy. It's just, this will be a written pattern only, because it's going to be charted. And I did a chart video. I wanted to do a video. I will show you the project real quick once I'm done. I wanted to do a video on how to read a crochet chart and also how to read a pattern. And some people liked it. Some people said it was too long and I talk too much, and I apologize. I do talk too much sometimes. I mean, you can ask my kids, ask my family. I like words, so. But anyway, so this one, I just don't think it will be a good fit for a video. It's just going to be a written pattern only. So yeah, I just wanted to, I love doing color work. It's one of my favorite things to do in crocheting. I love making pictures out of yarn, and I just thought like a snowflake. Hopefully it looks like snowflakes. That was the whole goal. I made this chart. I love making charts too. I just think it's kind of fun. I can't draw, but I can make a chart. So yeah, so this is going to be a scarf pattern, and I might make a hat one too. And the nice thing with this one is it is reversible. So here's this side and this side. So sometimes when you are doing color work in crochet, they're not reversible. You know, obviously there's a right and wrong side, but this one happens to be reversible, and it does use single crochet, my least favorite stitch, but it works really well with this particular technique, and it's a very simple technique. So yeah, I will you know, show you in an update when it's finished, and then I'll have the pattern linked. So those are all the projects that I'm working on, and I will show you 2 projects that are finished. So yay, something got done. All right, so this one I showed before. This is a dishcloth pattern that I made, and this is the one that I made the chart, and I did the long video of how to read a crochet chart. This is a basic. It's a heart. Hopefully you can see it. It's not blending in with my yellow wall. And I just wanted to teach people how to be able to read a pattern and how to be able to read the chart. So yeah, I do apologize for more experienced crocheters. You know, this would be a bit tedious, but I just, you know, want people to be able to, you know, make things if they've never tried it before. And some people are a little afraid of reading patterns or afraid of reading charts, so I just really wanted to be thorough when I did that video. So I will link this video if you're interested, and I do have, I think, in the description, if you wanted to bypass a lot of the beginning stuff, you know, you could just get to that part. But yeah, if you're an experienced crocheter, you should have no problem, you know, whipping this guy out, you know, but the video was definitely geared more towards beginners. But yeah, this one I will have linked if you do want to take a peek at it in the description box. And I have one more project that's finished, and I'm actually really happy with this one. I think it just turned out so beautiful. I will have a video with this, and I will have a written pattern. This one will take a little bit of time to get out because I do want to have a chart with this, and this one will not be a color chart. It's going to be an actual stitch chart. I'm not going to go over how to do that in the video. I'm just going to show you how to make it straightforward. And technically you wouldn't really need the chart, but I know it's more of a lace type stitch, and I just know that people that like to work in lace tend to like stitch charts, and they can be very helpful, especially because you're using, you know, thread or lace yarns, and the stitches are a lot smaller. So it is kind of nice to kind of see the stitch chart to kind of give you an idea of what you need to do. So I know I've showed this in the past, but now it's actually done and it's all blocked and everything. So here we go. This is this wrap that I've been working on for quite a while, and I just think it just turned out super beautiful. I'm really happy with this one. And so yeah, I will have a video and the written pattern. Hopefully, I don't know when it's going to be ready. It's going to take a little bit of time. But I just think this would be beautiful for a wedding, for any type of formal event. You also, if you do not like working in lace or, you know, very fine yarn, I think this would make a really nice thicker shawl. You could just bump up the hook size, bump up the yarn, and you know, it would be really nice if you like to make shawls my mother likes to make shawls for nursing homes. Like, this would be a beautiful wrap for somebody in a nursing home. You know, use some, you know, really beautiful yarn, because the nice thing with this pattern is you can make it as long as you need. So you really can customize it to fit you and your taste. So if you do use larger yarn and a larger hook, or thicker yarn and a larger hook, let's see here. So this part would actually be a little bit wider. That would be the only difference. Like, I might make one in thicker yarn just for myself for when I'm watching TV, because my house gets cold. I just get cold easily. But yeah, so yeah, this project I'm really thrilled with. So hopefully, you know, in the next couple weeks, I will get this pattern out with, it's going to be a chart. It's going to have everything, video. So yeah, pictures. I'm going to try to really be thorough with this pattern. And I hope, you know, it's not going to scare you if you've never worked in lace before. This is actually a pretty basic lace pattern. And just think of lace, crochet lace, it's basically you're using regular crochet stitches, but just using finer yarn. That's it. That's the only difference. It's not like some magical special technique. I think some people like to kind of make it like that, but it really isn't. It's still just the old-fashioned crochet stitches. You're just using smaller yarn or thinner yarn and a smaller hook. That's it. That's the only difference. But this one you certainly can use a larger hook and thicker yarn as well. So those are all the projects that I have for you today, and next I will show you the September bin and I will show you the October bin. Alright, so here we have the September bin. As you can see, doesn't look a whole lot different. I do want to use this stuff, as I said before. I think I want to use it for that wrap that you saw earlier. I think it would look really pretty. I'm not sure what color combination I would use, but I would definitely want to use this. This is linen, and it's from Lithuania, and as I said before, it came rather quickly, so I definitely want to use that. And here's some other stuff. So yeah, not a whole lot different, but I think I have used some things in here, but as you can see, still have a long ways to go for this September bin here. So now I'll show you the October bin. Okay, so here we have the October bin, and let's see what we got in here. So this is quite a bit of, I guess this is like a baby type yarn. It looks kind of, in my viewfinder here, like yellow, but it's actually peachy, more peachy looking. Got some fuzzies on it. It's actually really, really pretty. And this yarn is actually very beautiful. Reminds me of like ice cream or sherbet. So Bernat baby coordinates, and I have 2 of these, so have to figure out something for this October bin here. And as you can see, an abandoned project. This is actually something my mom gave me this. She started something and decided it wasn't working out, and gave me the leftover yarn, so I can reuse that. And then this was a blanket I think I tried to make years ago, and I realized I didn't have enough yarn. Kind of do that a lot, you know, it's like the eyes are bigger than your stomach. My yarn, my pattern ideas are bigger than my yarn stash I have. So here's some random purple. What else do we got in here? Oh, more thread. So a little bit left over here. And oh yeah, here was, I think this was an abandoned project. This is a Tunisian mitt I made, and I don't think I liked it. I think, yeah, because of the stitching on the side, that's not looking so cute. So I'll have to take that apart and use it for something else. Let's see, we got some, oh, Red Heart Baby Sport. I don't even know if they make this anymore, but a nice big skein to use for something. We got some brown. This is, I'm pretty sure this is a Karen Simply Soft yarn. When the skeins were a lot bigger. When you buy it now, they're a lot smaller. Just like everything, just like ice cream, you know, you buy it now and it's a lot smaller, and they charge you the same price or more. So, you know, it's the way it goes. Okay, so this is the October bin. We'll see what we can do with it. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I thank you so much for watching.
Oops, we're falling down. Again, probably look pretty similar, the same.